Hey all, we are back again for part 2 of our code.org Unit 2, Lesson 3, which is focused on headings and lists. So for skill set 3, what we are to do is use the inspector tool. So we're going to turn our inspector gadget tool on. So it is now turned on. And remember, the way to use it is you're going to go over here, you're going to highlight the finished product, which is our in our right screen, and it's going to show us where the code comes from. All right, so use the inspector tool to figure out what makes the headings different sizes. Well, we talked about that in a previous video or previous videos. That what's going to make the headings the different sizes is our H1s, our H2s, H3s, and H4s. And it goes it goes a little bit differently where our H1 is going to be the biggest and best and baddest. And then our H6 is going to be our itsy bitsy tiny little print. So if you take a look at our H1, take a look at the H1. This is the biggest one. And then the H2, we'll go to the second smallest, or the second largest is going to be this one. And this is going to be our H2. So make sure that you and your partner agree on what the different headings tags do. Well, I'm my partner, so again, I agree with myself. Change the tags so that the headings are in order from biggest to smallest. All right, so what we're going to do, what they're telling us to do, is we're going to take a sneak peek at this information. So in this body right here, we've got our tags 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want our biggest tags. We want this in descending order or ascending order. So our biggest tag needs to be our H1. So we're going to change this H3 to an H1. And then our big is going to be an H2. So we're going to change that to an H2. Change this to an H2. And then our medium big, whatever a medium big is, I have no idea what that is. It's probably McDonald's order. We'll change that to an H3. Medium small, well, that's going to be our H4. And we're changing it front and back. Remember, it's front and back, front and back. We open our lipstick, we close our lipstick. H5, we're going to keep that the way it is. And then right here is our H6, and we'll change that to H6. So now what we have here, if we take a look at this, it's going to be biggest, big, medium, small, small, and then smallest. Well, smallest, that's not right. So I didn't put our H6 there. I got to close our tag with the H6 there. Now let's see here. So now we're cooking with oil. All right, so let's make sure we got this right. So we are big. Wakey, wakey. Lost it. All right, so we got our big here. We got our big, the big text right here. Medium, big, medium, small, small, and then small. So that looks pretty good. Change the tags so they are from biggest to smallest. We got that taken care of. All right, well, that looks like we are all good to go with that. So let's go ahead and click Finished and move on to skill set 4. Skill set 4, what do they want us to do? View student responses, I want to do that. Look at the code below and predict how the headings will be displayed. Choose one of the options on the right. All right, so let's take a look here. So we've got eggs. So this right here is eggs. This looks like a medium big. This bacon is small, so that's probably like an H6. Waffles is the largest of the large, so that looks probably an H1. So we are looking for bacon to be the biggest. So where is the bacon biggest? Bacon biggest is going to be in B and C. So the biggest bacon is going to be B and C. So I'm going to go ahead and say B and C. It's going to be either B or C. The medium is going to be eggs because that's an H3. So we know bacon's the biggest because H1 is always going to be the biggest tag. So we know that bacon's the biggest. Eggs should be the medium. So we get eggs here, and the eggs look insy-binsy tiny there, but eggs look medium here. So I'm going to say it's going to be this one. Waffles is going to be insy-winsy teeny-weeny, and that's what we got right here. So I'm going to say B is the correct answer. Answer, well, it's right there. Eggs, bacon, and waffles. So yeah, it is B. All right, so it looks like that's pretty much, well, pretty good for teachers only. That's for me to see. All right, so we're going to head and submit that. Looks like I got it right. Whoop-de-doo. All right, let's move on to skill set 5. All right, for skill set 5, there are 2 types of lists in HTML. Now we're getting into ordered lists and unordered lists. The biggest difference between an ordered list and an unordered list is that the ordered list, from what I know and I've experienced, has numbers, and the unordered list has bullet points. Let's see if I'm correct or not. So there are two types of lists in HTML, ordered and unordered lists. An unordered list is just a set of bulleted items. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much what I said. Good. An unordered list element has a tag of UL. UL is unordered list, ladies and gentlemen. It's just going to give you a set of bullet points. This is an abbreviation for unordered list, UL. Each item in the list is marked by a list item. So in the unordered list, we are also going to have list items, and those have tags as well, and that is going to be your LI. This is an abbreviation for a list item. So we have unordered list, which is going to be UL, or an ordered list, which is an OL, and then within that is going to be our list items. List item elements is the child element. Don't worry about what a child element is. It just means that it's within the list, which means that it goes inside the parent element of the unordered list. All right, so take a look at how the code is given below, and it creates an unordered list. Pay special attention to the white spaces. All right, so what are we going to do? What are we supposed to do? Look at how the unordered list and the LI, the list item tags, are used to create an unordered list. All right, so what we have in this code, we have our HTML. This tells us this right here tells us the document. HTML tells us we're going to write our code. We've got a head, and we've got a we open up our head right here. We close it right here. We open up our body right here. We have an H2 tag, which is a medium big. For size, we open up the H2 tag right here, open bracket H2, close bracket, breakfast foods, close bracket H2, close bracket. Unordered list is going to be the UL. So that just tells the computer, hey, I'm going to make a list. That's all you're doing is you're telling the computer, look, the next couple of things are going to be a list. That's your UL right there. The LI backslash LI, this is just a list item. So within the unordered list is a list items. And so what we're getting here is we have our breakfast foods, which comes from our H2 header, and then our cereal, eggs, and waffles. And see how the bullet points right here? That is because it's an unordered list. And our list items is going to be the back is a bracket li close bracket cereal bracket close backslash li close bracket. So these are our list items, and we know that they're list items because of the li. And the next thing we have right here is now they're going into some desserts. But they're leaving us hanging. They're telling us we got some breakfast foods, but they're not telling us what kind of desserts we can have. Not very cool of them. So what are we supposed to do? Use the unordered list and the LI to create your own breakfast dessert list. All right, so we need to go ahead and create a dessert list. And we are going to do that by using the unordered list as well as the list items. So we're going to do that under desserts. We're going to hit enter. I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to go ahead and use my open bracket. I'm going to go UL, close bracket. That tells the computer that we are going to be doing an unordered list. I'm going to hit enter. We're going to do an open bracket, list item. It'll be LI, close bracket. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a dessert. Well, I like ice cream for my breakfast dessert. So I'm going to go ahead and do ice cream. And then I'm going to go ahead and do close bracket, backslash, LI, bracket. And that should give us a list item. Let's see here, LI, close bracket. And then we need our inspector tool on. And that should update it. There it goes. So you want to turn your inspector tool on and you have to refresh and save. All right, so I'm going to do two more. So again, open bracket, list item, LI, close bracket. And I'm going to say I want a cookie. Y'all know my chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookies, not just one. It's got to be several cookies. And then now what we're going to do to end this, the close this list item, so open bracket, open bracket, backslash, li, close bracket, enter. And I'm going to do one more list item. Open bracket, list item, close bracket, and what else? Apple pie. Second, apple pie with vanilla ice cream. We got to do it with vanilla ice cream. And we're going to do a close bracket backslash list item. There we go. And then there's one more step that we need to do, which is to close our unordered list. Bracket backslash ul bracket. Oh, one more use. Okay, good. Let's bring that back. I like it nice and pretty like that. All right, so let's see what we have here. So we've got our desserts. We have ice cream, chocolate chip cookies, apple pie with vanilla ice cream, and that is in our unordered list. And we know it's an unordered list. We got the UL. Our list items are right here, and we close out our unordered list right there. Show me another example. We don't need that. Use the unordered. So okay, good. So it looks like we took care of that. So we're going to click finish there. And we're going to pause this for a minute. All right, so now we are off to our next skill set, which is skill set 6. For skill set 6, what are we doing here? So an ordered list is like an unordered list, except it has numbers. Okay, so instead of a UL, we're going to be doing an OL, and it's going to have numbers, not rocket science. What do we got to do? Use the OL and the LI. Our OL is our ordered list, and our LI, which is our list items tags, to structure the content into an ordered list. All right, so we've got, let's see here, what do we have here? Show me an example. Yeah, we don't need that. We've got our document type. We got that HTML header. All right, so what they're giving us here is we've got an H2 tag, which is our header. Top 5 reasons a turtle is the best pet. I'm not sure I agree with that, but it doesn't matter. All right, so they give us the content, and what we need to do is we now need to put this content right here into an ordered list. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to hit tab because we're always moving it further and further in. We're going to do that. We're going to start off our order list with an open bracket, OL, close bracket. Tells the computer we are now making an ordered list. And once it knows that we're making an order list, I'm going to go right down here, and just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to close out my ordered list right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and close that out now because I know that I'm doing an ordered list. And if I open it, I'm going to have to close it eventually. If we open up a lipstick here and we're going to paint our face here, we're going to then go ahead and close our lipstick here. And so I'm just going to close it up front. Next thing I need to do is I need to make these list items. And the way that we're going to make these list items, these 5 things, is going to be our open bracket, LI, close bracket. And then we're going to go to the end and we're going to open bracket, backslash LI, close bracket. And we're going to do that 4 more times. Open bracket, LI, close bracket, open bracket, LI, close bracket, open bracket, LI, close bracket, open bracket, LI, close bracket. And then once we do that, we're going to come right here to the end. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy this, Control C, and hit Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. All right, so what we've just done is, if you take a look at here, is we've got our ordered list. We told it we want an ordered list, which means we want the list with numbers. And then we close out our order list down here. Right in the middle, these are all of our list items that did not change from our previous skill set. And it just LI, and we close our list item with a backslash LI. And our end result is top 5 reasons that turtles are not the best pets, as they are not cute. They are not easy to take care of. They do bite or scratch, and they will not eat your leftovers. So those are all the reasons why turtles are not the best pets. All right, so it looks like we are all done. We'll close that out, and let's move on with our lives to skill set 7. In skill set 7, HTML comments. Oh, love programmer comments. Programmer comments are the best. HTML comments are essential aspect of web design and development. All a comment does is just tells another programmer who's going to read your code what this code is going to actually do. The user of your code on the web page will never see your comments. So just keep that in mind. Users will never see your comments, but it's just to communicate to a different programmer as to what this code means or does, or is to remind you for a later date of what this code means and does. All right, so HTML comments are essential. I agree. Adding comments to HTML is done by a open bracket explanation point. And then you're going to have your close brackets. Let's see here. Where do we have our comments? All right, so they don't have any comments in here, so obviously that's probably what we're going to have to do. And this is a comment, and if you look at it right here, open bracket, explanation point, slash slash or dash dash. This is a comment, dash dash, close bracket. Now, interesting enough, for comments, there is no backslash when you close it out, so keep that in mind. So what are we going to do? Use the comment tag to comment out, and that just means there's information on the web page and we don't want it there anymore. So we're going to comment it out. Comment out the information about the content. So let's see here. What is information about the content? Bolded list of why to use comments. So this is probably something that we want to go ahead and we want to go ahead. Okay, so the word introduction. So if you take a look right here, this word introduction, it's not in a parentheses. I'm sorry, it's not a header, and it is not in a paragraph. So this word is just hanging out there in the wind. So if it's hanging out there in the wind, we're going to want to get rid of it, and we're going to do that by, well, we're going to go ahead and open our bracket, dash dash. And then we're going to, open bracket, explanation point, dash dash. And see how everything just got ghosted out? Well, we don't want to ghost out everything, so we're going to go dash dash, open bracket. And once we do that, do you see now how this information right here is ghosted out and it's also disappeared from our inner information over here? And then we're going to scroll down. We're going to look for some more of that information. And we see that right here, this bolded list of why to use comments, that's just a note to the other programmers. So we're going to get rid of this as well. We're going to do that by open bracket, explanation point, dash dash. And you see how everything gets ghosted out? Well, we don't want everything ghosted out. We just want this information right here, the sentence. So it's a dash dash, close bracket, and now all that stuff is gone again. All right. And we've got our list items right here. That's good to go. And then B right here. We get the BR. And then we got one more. We got a final statement right here. So we're going to open bracket, explanation point, dash dash, by code. And then we're going to lock it up by dash dash, close bracket. And we got that taken care of. And then we close out the body. We close out the HTML. And the only looks like I missed a title page. So we're going to go back up here. Okay, we missed a title page. So we're going to open bracket, up, explanation point, dash dash, and it comments out everything, and then we're going to go dash dash, close bracket, and now the title page is closed down. So let's see, does it look good? Yep. Yeah, so this looks pretty darn good right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll with that, and we're going to go ahead and say that is complete. So we'll go ahead and click finish on that one. And what are we at now? So this looks like we are getting into the practices. So you're going to be doing some debugging here. So there's 3 debugs to do and add larger headings. So for the finale of this video, I'm going to show you all how to do one of the debugging for the practice, but I am going to hold you all responsible for doing all 4 of them. So let's go ahead and take a look at 8A. So we'll go down to 8A. And let's see what the directions are. See what the directions are. Stop moving, stop moving, stop moving. There we go. All right, so missing paragraph. So someone has submitted a bug report. Someone's got some bugs on this web page. Can you fix the bug report? All right, so what I expected to happen, what happened instead? So it's telling us we got some issues and we need to fix them. All right, so find and fix the problems that is causing the bug. So what is a bug? What I expected to happen? 3 paragraphs, 1 each on dogs, turtles, and birds. What happened instead? The turtle paragraph is missing. Uh-oh. So we're missing a turtle paragraph. So we got our dogs. Let's get rid of this. So we got our dogs. We got our birds, but we're missing our turtles. We need turtles. All right, so let's figure out why this happened. So let's go ahead and highlight. Let's turn on our inspector tool, little inspector gadget tool, and let's go to turtles, and let's see where the turtles are for our code. And it's not coming. All right, inspector tool is not working for me. It is what it is. So let's go through the okay, here we go. So right here, what we see is we've got our turtle right here. So we've got our H2 turtle, so that's our header for our turtle. And right under that turtle, we have our P. So we got P turtles, And so now I'm looking for this paragraph. If you all remember when you're doing your paragraph, it's open bracket P, close bracket. Instead of a close bracket, we have a period. So let's see if we fix that period, what happens. So instead of a period, we're going to put a close bracket, which just tells the program to go ahead and zip through it. All right, so once we do that, our turtles section is now there. And so now let's go ahead and make sure this appropriately closes out the paragraph. So we have our open paragraph, open bracket P, close bracket for turtles. And then at the end, we have our open bracket backslash P, and we have our close bracket. So that looks good. So it looks like we finished this. And the only thing that was the problem was under turtles, we had our period there instead of a backslash. All right, so we fixed the bug. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all do it on your own for the other three areas. You'll have a little bit of fun with that. And let's move on to lesson 9, which is the assessment. So for the assessment, the biggie of the biggie. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me my directions. I like directions. Give me one second. There it goes. Okay. So author of this page has added a lot of content, but did not think about structure. Uh-oh. We've got a lot of goody-goody stuff and we got no structure. All the text is mashed together. I would agree with that. So what do we need to do? Look through the content with your partner, which is myself again, and decide what you think the best structure should be. Add comments to the code to clarify the structure. So we do need to add some comments. We need to structure this out and make it look good. Use your headings, paragraph, and list tags to code the structure into the page. So let's start right at the top. So right at the top, what we have here is we've got our doc. So this is our document that's saying, hey, this is an HTML document. This is where our HTML code starts right here. Our header, we're not using any headers. We got our header there. We got our backslash header there. So it opens up the head here and it closes out the head here. So now we're in our body. So once we're in our body, first thing we have is my pets. So my pets looks like it should be a H1 because it's just, it's the first thing that's coming up. And so once we do a header, so we're going to make that H1 header. And so we're going to go ahead and close out our header right here, H1. And remember, H1 is the biggest of the biggest. Next thing we have is going to be, I have 3 pets. I have 3 different pets. All right, so this looks like what we're doing is we're getting into a list, and it could be an ordered list or an unordered list. So they're telling us the names of the pets. It looks like is Lulu, Slowpoke, and Hamster. So this to me looks like it's probably going to be an unordered list because there's really no steps or no processes that we're going through in order to classify this as an ordered list. But before we get there, I'm going to go ahead and give this a header as well. And it's not going to make it an H1 because, as we discussed previously, there's only one H1 to a page. I'm going to make this an H2. So I'm going to make this an H2 header, missing the 2. And once I do a header there, I'm going to have to close my header over here. We open our lipstick here, we close our lipstick here, and we paint our face with this information. H2, close it out there. All right, so now we got a nice little, oh, I'm sorry that I opened it. So we have to put our backslash in there. That's going to go ahead and close it out. So now what we have here is, what next thing we need to do is we need to make this an unordered list. And to do that, we're going to use a open bracket, UL, close bracket. That tells the program that we are going to make an unordered list. Anytime you open an unordered list, you need to close your unordered list. And we're going to do that with a open bracket backslash UL. And so that just tells the program that we're going to go ahead and this information in here is going to be an unordered list. So once we go ahead and set the structure for the unordered list, we're going to go inside that list, and we're now going to make these list items. And if you all remember how to do that, it's going to be an open bracket, LI for list item, and then we're going to go ahead and do a close bracket, and I'm going to go ahead and do a shortcut, which is going to be copy the LI and put it in front of each of those. Bring that to tab, and then I'm going to now close each one of these list items with an open bracket backslash li close bracket. And I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to paste it here. All right, so now what we have here is a nice ordered list, unordered list. Unordered is UL, and we have our list items right here. So it's looking pretty good, looking pretty snazzy. Our pets, we've got a H1 header here, we've got an H2 letter header here. And I'm not crazy. I think that H2 is just a little big. We might have to go through it and maybe lower it. But before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and add my comments here. So I'm going to go ahead and do an open bracket, an explanation point, dash, dash. And I'm going to go ahead and say this is my unordered list. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this out with our dash, dash, close bracket. All right, so that go ahead and that just tells the reader that this is going to be our unordered list. The next thing we have is some more information. They are all my favorites. They are all my favorite for different reasons. I feed them and give them water every day, and even though it's a lot of work, they are totally worth it. This sounds like a paragraph to me, so I'm going to go ahead and make this a paragraph. And once I make this a paragraph, I'm going to go ahead and also close out my paragraph right here. So it's looking pretty good there. All right, so let's see here. Now what we're doing here is it looks like they're getting into some, they're going to be describing their pets right here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a comment here, bracket, explanation point, dash, dash. And I'm going to say describes pets, dash, dash, close bracket. And so now what we have is we're going to have the different, it looks like we have different types of puppies or whatever these, they are puppies. So we got Lulu, we got Slowpoke, we got Fluffy Fluffy. So I'm going to make these, the names of each one of these, I'm going to make these H3s. We got H2 up here. I'm going to make it as an H3 header. I don't want it as big as the other ones, but I don't want it small either. So we're going to make this an H3 header. And once I make that an H3 header, I'm also going to want to go ahead and close it out as well. Backslash H3, close backslash, and that closes out the header right there. And then I'm going to make, I'm going to go right through, I'm going to make each one of the puppies' names a header as well. H3, close it out, and then backslash H3, close it out. And we got Fluffy. So for Fluffy, we're going to go ahead and open the bracket, H3, header 3. Close the bracket, and then we want to close the header, which is going to be an open bracket, backslash H3, close bracket. So let's see what we got here. So we got Lulu, we got Lolo Talk, and we got Slowpoke, and we got Fluffy Fluffy. So that looks good. Next thing we're going to go is we're going to go back up here, and we're going to put this into a paragraph. We're not going to let this just float in the wind. We're going to close this, or we're going to make this nice and neat. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a P right here, which is going to make this our lose my dog for 2 years. I like to have fun with it. We're going to go ahead and make this a paragraph, backslash. We're going to close out our paragraph here. And we don't want to capitalize. We want it lowercase. Always want lowercase. And then I'm going to make this a paragraph here. For under Slowpoke, we want this to be a paragraph as well. So we're going to open bracket P, close bracket. And then down here, open bracket, backslash P, close bracket. Takes care of that. And then for Fluffy Fluffy, same thing. Open bracket P, close bracket, and then at the end of the paragraph, open bracket, backslash P, close bracket. And that's taken care of. All right, so it looks like we have made all the changes we need to make. So let's take a look. So my pets, I have 3 different pets, and we've got the Lulu, and we got the Slowpoke, and the hamster, and then they describe the pets. Good. And then our Lulu is a header, and then it describes Lulu, Slowpoke. We got that as a header. Describes Slowpoke, which is a turtle, and we got Fluffy Fluffy, which is a fish. All the fish are fluffy fluffies, of course. All right, so it looks like we've done this. So let's make sure we've covered all aspects of this. So look through the content with your partner, which again is myself, and decide what structure you think is best. Add the contents and add comments to the code, and we did that in a couple of spots. And then use headings, paragraph, and list tags to code the structure. So do I have a list tag? So it looks like we don't have I've got an unordered, oh yes, we do have a list in here. So our list is right here. So we got our list tags as well. So it looks like we're all set, ready to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that one up. All right, so it looks like we have reached the end of this video. And again, all the rest of the content, the challenges I do expect y'all to do, that's going to be on you. And I'm going to expect y'all to do this assessment 10 as well. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. And I'm sure y'all have found this helpful and entertaining. And we will chat a little bit later in class.